You know what they say, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And in fact, there's actually 5 ways to skin a cat. And by skin a cat, I obviously mean selling on Amazon. This video is gonna cover the 5 main business models that you can utilize to make money selling on Amazon. Enjoy.
Reezy Resells. Follow the hustle.
Now, before we get into the video, I just want to let you know that there's going to be a couple bonuses at the end of the video that are going to be great resources for those of you that are looking into selling on Amazon long term. So I highly recommend staying to the end so that you can pick up that bonus information. Now let's get into it. The 5 main business models that you can use to sell on Amazon are as follows: retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, print on demand, private label, and wholesale. Now let's break them down. The first business model I'm gonna cover is called RA, which is short for retail arbitrage. Essentially, this means buying stuff at stores and then selling them on Amazon. This is probably one of the more common ways to make money on Amazon, and this includes new products as well as used products. So if you're doing used books, CDs, or DVDs, or anything used from thrift stores, electronics, garage sales, or you're doing new stuff from Walmart, from Target, from Kohl's, that is retail arbitrage. It is essentially buying things at a retail location or at any location that you're physically going to, and then selling it on Amazon because there's a price disparity between what you can get it for and what you can sell it for on Amazon. And just by the nature of retail, there's always going to be things on clearance and there's always going to be closeout deals. Nobody's perfect, so there's always overages in orders that stores make, and there's things they can't sell. The good news is, if you can sell them online at a profitable price, you're able to scoop those for 50% off, 75% off, 80% off, sometimes as much as 90% off. And there's no other business model that I'm going to teach you about today that allows you to get items for such a good deal. Now, there is other problems with retail arbitrage. You got supply. You can only drive around to so many stores. It's time intensive. It's labor intensive. But as far as getting started, it's definitely the #1 business model that most people who get into selling on Amazon look to. Now, the second business model that I'm going to go over is similar to RA, and it's actually called OA, which stands for online arbitrage. Now, with online arbitrage, you're doing almost the exact same thing as retail arbitrage, except for the places that you're sourcing the items from are online. So instead of going into Kohl's or going into Target or going into Walmart, you're actually ordering items from their website. Online arbitrage is incredibly amazing. A lot of people who start with RA eventually go into OA. One of the main benefits about OA is that there is huge supply. There is more stores than you could ever think of on the internet, and nobody can buy all of the inventory. Now, you're not gonna get as incredible deals as you do at RA, but there is just gonna be a much more consistent supply of things that you can buy because you have access to the entire internet, and it's much less labor intensive. You don't have to drive around to go to different stores. So imagine if you're doing retail arbitrage, how many stores can you make it to in 3 hours? In that same time period with online arbitrage, you can actually look at a lot more products from your computer at home in your pajamas, and you can do it from anywhere in the world. So you don't need to be at the store. You're not limited by your geographic physical location. The other thing that's great about online arbitrage is you can utilize a prep center. A prep center is a place that you can ship your items to, and then they will ship it into Amazon to sell for you. So now you're buying things and selling them on Amazon, and you're not even touching them. And usually these third-party prep centers are located in tax-free states, which means you're not paying sales tax on items, which is another huge benefit for online arbitrage. There's all kinds of software that you can use as well, so that makes your job a lot easier. Now, the third way you can make money selling on Amazon is actually called POD, or print on demand. Amazon offers several different ways that you can do print on demand. They have a service called merch on demand, which is selling designs on t-shirts, sweatshirts, pop sockets, phone cases. There's all kinds of items that you can make designs and put your designs on and get them to sell on Amazon. Now, this is really great because you don't have to pay for anything. You don't need any money. You're not buying anything. What you do is you make a design and you upload it to Merch on Demand. When a customer buys it, Amazon prints the shirt, sends it to the customer, and you get your cut. For example, if you sell a shirt for $20 on Merch on Demand, you're gonna make about $5 profit. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but imagine selling that same shirt again and again. You're also not having to store inventory. You're also not having to deal with customer service. It's very seamless. Unfortunately, Merch on Demand is not currently accepting new people onto the platform. I still recommend that you apply because you never know when they're gonna start accepting new people onto the platform. And when they do, you wanna be in that queue so that you can get in the game and start making some money. It's truly one of the best business models. All you need is a laptop and the knowledge of how to make simple designs. There's also other websites that you can use like Printful, Redbubble, Teespring. All of these websites do print on demand in some form or fashion, and I highly recommend you look into those. They are, however, allowing people to sign up for their KDP program or Kindle Direct Publishing. What Kindle Direct Publishing is uploading books to Amazon. And I don't mean writing entire books, even though nowadays with AI, that's probably not as hard as it used to be. So you can get away with doing very simple stuff on Amazon. You can put up coloring books, journals with artwork on the inside, a simple log book or a guidebook, things that people need to buy again and again. Maybe you go the extra mile and you make activity books for children. Maybe you're gonna make different themed ones like space themed activity books, wildlife themed activity books. There is a ton of different ways you could make money on KDP. The ideas are endless and it's truly a gold mine, especially if you're creative and you're not just trying to get away with doing the very basic low content stuff like journals, which are kind of played out at this point. Along the same lines of that is Audible. So you can upload books to Amazon's Audible platform. Let's say you write a book, how to do this, or a story. You can narrate it, or you could use an AI to narrate it, and then you get the audio and you upload it to the platform and you can make money every time that sells. Now, the fourth way to make money on Amazon is probably the one that you hear about the most. It might even be what attracted you to looking into Amazon, and it might have been the only way you knew of how to make money on Amazon before you saw this video, and that is PL or private label. Private label is when you are getting products from China or from other suppliers. You could get them in the US too, but it's typically ordered from outside of the US in bulk, and then you are listing them on Amazon on your own listing. You're creating your own product detail page. Let's say, for a very simple example, a spatula. I'm gonna make the yellow Reezy spatula. It's gonna say Reezy Resells on the handle. Boom, I'm gonna get that put on Amazon. And how it works is you get a supplier, let's say like Alibaba.com. You look up different types of spatulas. You get them to put your logo in it. You get packaging made. Then you order units and you get it put up there. It's a lot more detailed than that, but private label is one of the models that is more sustainable on Amazon. Unlike retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, where if you stop buying products and you stop going out and actively searching for stuff, you're not gonna make any money. With private label, you could actually create a spatula, then you could create some mixing bowls, then you can create some measuring cups, and you can make a whole line of products that actually is a legit brand, and you could then later sell that brand, and it could be at Kohl's, or it could be at Walgreens, or it could be at a store. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of working once, you're actually building a brand. Now, private label takes longer. It's harder to do, right? You have to do research to find a product that's gonna actually be a good product for you to do. You have to make sure that your product's good quality. You have to get your SEO on your listing right. That stands for search engine optimization. You need reviews. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, right? But if you figure it out, it's something where as soon as your inventory is starting to run out, you just order more inventory from your supplier, and you can even have them ship it straight to Amazon to replenish your stock. Great business model, but if you're trying to quit your job in 3 to 6 months, most people are not gonna be successful doing that with private label. Okay, so now the fifth and final business model that we're gonna discuss is wholesale. Wholesale is where you actually actually get accounts with distributors and manufacturers to purchase items at a price below MSRP so that you can then sell them at MSRP and make profit. Now, unlike retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, you're not going to be making incredibly high ROI on this business model. But like private label, it's very scalable. It's very repeatable. It's a long-term business. Some would say retail arbitrage and online arbitrage are not real businesses, but no one could say that wholesale or private label is not a real business. So with wholesale, most people are usually going to have at least a small warehouse. You probably have a forklift and you are getting pallets of products shipped in, you're inspecting them, you're creating Amazon shipments, and then you're sending them out. So when you go on Amazon and let's say you purchase a toothbrush or some toothpaste or some chapstick or some body wash or whatever, if that's not being sold by the manufacturer, chances are you're purchasing from someone who's utilizing a wholesale business model. Now, like private label, it's not a very easy business to get going. You're not just gonna sign up for Amazon and become a successful wholesaler in the next 3 to 6 months, and you're probably not gonna quit your job in the first year off of wholesale. I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying most people don't. I wanna be realistic with you. So, how does wholesale work? After you find a supplier, then you get their catalog, you have to go through their entire catalog of products and find out what do they have that you can sell on Amazon that's actually in demand and you can make a profit on. And then you're gonna test the market by buying some units from them and selling them on Amazon. You bought 5 or 10, did it go good? Okay, now you can buy 20 or 40 or 50. And a huge part of wholesale is negotiation, because you don't have to pay what the catalog says. You can actually pay a lot less if you order more or you negotiate with people. Now, just like private label, a lot of people who do wholesale probably started out with retail arbitrage, then they maybe went into online arbitrage, and then they went into wholesale. It's also a very sustainable business model. It's something that you can count on. Manufacturers are not gonna sell their products direct, at least not all the time. That's not where we're at right now anyways. They're gonna need people like me and you to sell their products at new places all the time because their focus is making a product and marketing a product. They got branding, they got all kinds of stuff they got to do with that. So their focus is not necessarily selling the product. That's what we're here for. Since you made it this long in the video, I want to give you a couple bonuses real quick. So there's actually a 6th way you can sell on Amazon, and that is drop shipping. So Amazon allows you to drop ship, which means you're the seller of record or the SOR, and you list a product to sell on Amazon and you don't actually have the product. Now, when it sells to your customer on Amazon, you then order it from your supplier who ships it directly to the customer. And you can do this in a couple ways. You could do it with online arbitrage, or you could do it with a wholesale business model. So that's a little bit of a nuance, but it's a good thing to know that you're allowed to do it because it's a way you can make money on Amazon without actually having any money up front. Bonus number 1 is going to be a great resource for those of you looking to sell in the wholesale business model. A couple friends of mine are very, very experienced experts in wholesale, and I would like to recommend you to check out their content. The first one is Watch Me Amazon, and the second one is Amazon Lit. I'm gonna put links to both of their channels down below, as well as their Instagrams, and they have courses. I'll put those down there as well. Don't buy it if you can't afford it, but if you can afford it and you wanna save time and you're looking to scale, those are incredibly good resources. Now, bonus number 2 I'm gonna hook you up with is probably the best playlist on YouTube for learning private label. Check out this playlist. It's gonna be down below. It's called Ask Matt, and it's made by my friend Matt Loberstein, who is an expert private label seller. You will not find a better resource. It is a ton of videos where he just did AMA, Q&A, answering questions from people like you that want to learn private label. Make sure you check out those resources before you go, and if there's anything you want to know along this topic that I didn't answer, please comment down below and I'll answer those as soon as they come in. Smash the like button if you got any value out of this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Please subscribe to my channel.
Subscribe.